She's currently in heat right now. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, my cat is gonna be in the video. Apparently, I'm really sorry. So hopefully you can just focus on me and not on her, although I know that she's rather cute. Hey guys, it's Kaylee Hendershot from This Croatian Life, and today I have my cup of coffee here. I seem so staged, like I have my cup of coffee here. Oh my god. No, I grabbed a cup of coffee because today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys more and just kind of, you know, have more of like a, not a conversation, but just to be more of like a conversation with you guys than just, you know, me kind of like sitting like prim and proper in front of you and kind of giving you my list of things about, I don't know, Croatia or the US or culture or whatever. So although I will continue to do those because sometimes I really do like to do them like quick and fast and a little more organized, today I just wanted it to be kind of more of like a chit chat day. And so I got my coffee. I wrote down some stuff that I want to say, but hopefully I can just kind of hash it out with you guys. Hopefully I can just, you know, speak naturally and say my thoughts, and you know, you guys can comment below and say what you think. So today's topic is how I view the US now that I live in a different country. I've lived in a different country, Croatia, for a year and a half. It's gonna be 2 years in February. So, oh, she's back. I hope you guys don't mind. She seems to really like that spot, but Missy! She said hi to you guys. She's one of the loves of my life, so she's just gonna have to be in the video, I'm sorry. Anyway, so first off, like, my face is really round. It's like much rounder than it normally is because I'm essentially gaining weight right now, as you know. So just ignore or accept every time people are telling me that I've gained, like, oh, you've gained weight, like, are you dieting? And which is weird because normally I'm always dieting. And the first time it happened, I was kind of like a little bit offended, but now I'm just like, that's exactly what I want, and yes, I have gained weight. So anyway, round face, that's it. Also, a couple things just want to share though. This black dress that I'm wearing, maybe I'll show it to you guys in another video. I don't want to exactly share it right now because I'm a little like plump and I'm not feeling my best today, so I'm not gonna show you, but this black dress, it's a long sleeve and I love it. I got this dress when I came to Croatia my very first time. Again, it's from Kumoda, the little shop here in Sesvete. So just a little fun fact that I still have things from back then and from that time when I came for the first time, and it's funny because the memories just never leave me. I still, every time I put this dress on or a couple other things that I have, I still am like, oh, I remember when I got this. And it's so funny that it's still with me, that it went all the way to the States and then all the way back here with me, and that I still wear it and still love it. So let me take a look at what I have here that I know I want to share with you guys, and then I'm gonna kind of just go off on my own little tangents, okay? One second. Okay, so I moved out of the US here to Croatia the same month that Trump was inaugurated into office. And when I was moving, I was working at a coffee stand and people were actually asking me, are you moving because Trump is in office? Which is so funny to me. And I was actually kind of joking. I'm like, yeah, I'm in political exile. Although it kind of was a little bit serious. I mean, I didn't move because of Trump, but I was definitely not sad to be leaving because of the political environment and the political situation that's going on in the States currently. That's just kind of one of the things that has really dramatically changed how I view the US, although it's not the only thing. So this list, you know, includes that, but also includes just some cultural differences, some things that I notice. This list is both good and bad, so things that I view from the US that I really notice now about the US, that I'm really proud of, that I really admire. Because, I mean, not to sound arrogant at all, the US does some things in a way that are done in very few places in the rest of the world. One of the first things that is good and bad from my perspective, now that I am looking at the US from an outsider perspective, Excuse me. Oh my God, I need some water, 1 second. One thing that's really, really great about the US is the customer service. I'm not saying that customer service in Croatia is bad at all, but I am saying that the customer service in the United States far, far supersedes anything that I've experienced in Europe. The US just is driven by customer service. When I mean by customer service, I'm talking about going out to eat, going into a store and looking for something. That's all customer service. It's all based around the customer. That is one thing that I admire, and when I look at the US, I'm like in awe of it. So I really, really, really love that about the States, but also a difference now that I am living in Europe, especially in Croatia, is that I don't necessarily love the customer service aspect in the sense of it is very rushed. It's very hustle, 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 hurry up. You're sitting at that table for too long. Okay, you had your meal. Why are you lingering after your meal? It's time for you to go. Kind of feeling. No one would ever say that to you in the States, but there is that feeling. Whereas here, I know that, you know, we can go to dinner, we can go to drinks, and we can sit for as long as we want. In fact, you're expected to. So I don't like that part of the States where everything is so rushed. However, now I'm kind of in this phase where I wish things were a little bit faster here. I'm having like a little bit of a hard time with the slow paced, but that's what I signed up for. That's why I came. The second thing that I would say I view good about the United States is our openness, our diversity, you know, our acceptance of all types of people, different nationalities, immigrants, different backgrounds, also definitely of the LGBTQ community, and we're pretty progressive in that way, although we have a lot of conservatives in the country. And I like that. I especially like that now that I'm in Croatia, and while I hope that Croatia is going in the more progressive direction, not exactly there yet, as we know. I really like that about the United States. People can love who they want to love. There's a lot of diversity, but then you have the flip side, and you have the bad side to that. And now that I am in Croatia and watching my country, I see that there is such a ridiculous sensitivity. It's not even the sensitivity that's what drives me crazy. It's the idea that we need to include all people in everything and that everyone is entitled to being included merely because they exist. I'm not gonna go in too much because if I go into too many details, then I think that I'm getting a little bit more political on here than I want to. And if I am gonna be political, I don't really wanna be political about US politics. I would rather be political about Croatia politics because that's where I live, and I think that there is a lot of room for improvement. Yeah, there's a lot of improvement for the States, but I don't live in the States, so I don't want to go too deep on that. However, it also kind of leads me to my third thing. What I view that's really good about the US is I do value and respect and admire how the US is really politically involved. Now, I think that that's important if a country, a state, a region, whatever, a group of people wants to see change. I think it's important that people are politically involved, and we are politically involved in the States, but then it kind of also turns to an ugly side in some way because I think that the US is hyper political. We are constantly talking about politics, relating everything to politics, and when I look at the US, I view the hyperpoliticalness, is that a word? And then you have this kind of tying into the last thing, this need to be politically correct. You have, you know, since everything is centered around politics, you know, your interaction with the Mexican guy at the grocery store is suddenly has to do with immigration, you know, and part of that is true. There's a lot of truth to that. However, at the same time, it's just become a little extreme in the States, and I understand it and I recognize it, and I know that a lot of it is just based on so many different people groups coming together. However, I don't know if I've ever would have seen it in this way had I stayed in the US. Yeah, a lot of these things I thought before, but I didn't know that we were, I really didn't know that we were hyper political in the States until I came to Croatia, where it was like, okay, you want to talk about politics, but like, what purpose does that serve us? And not to say that people don't talk about politics in Croatia, people definitely do. Number 4, this is a cultural difference of how I view American culture. And Americans are generally really positive people. We're very happy. I've been told that Americans smile a lot, and which is really, really true actually, because every American that I meet, you know, they're pretty positive, happy, energetic, loud, boisterous. And while that's really, really great, I really, really love that people are happy, they want to chat with you. But at the same time, now that I'm here in Croatia, people are not so genuine in the States. And what I mean by that is, if you meet someone out and you have like, you know, good conversation, you're chatting with them, we're talking about in the States, and you get asked to go to coffee or lunch, I mean, the chances of that happening are like 0 to none, because people aren't as genuine in the sense of like they really want to get to know you, whereas here in Croatia, it's like true, they really, really do want to do that. And in the States, we're not so inclined to doing that, or at least in Seattle, no. I don't know about other places in the States. Sorry, I need a sip of coffee. This is Turkish coffee, by the way. So anyway, that's kind of how I view the US now, is maybe a little ingenuine, not in a bad way, not that anyone would want to do anything to you, but that, you know, it's just not the same way that we interact with each other, and it's not the same way that we build relationships in the States. And my final thing, which is not, there is no good, bad to this last one. For me, this one is just, now that I look at the US and everything that's going on there, and I always disagreed with this topic. I always wanted control for this topic. I look at the US and it's just freaking crazy, and that is guns. Oh my God, like, before I definitely wanted gun control. I thought it was getting to a point right before I left where, oh my gosh, there was a shooting at my college, Seattle Pacific University. The access to guns, the disagreements about guns, and you know, I'm not speaking about hunting. I live in a country now where it is pretty rigorous to get a gun, to own a gun, to hunt with a gun, and if you're really serious about it, people seem to go through that process. But the rest of the people, as far as like having guns and this need to bear arms, people don't have that here. And yeah, you know, there's definitely crime everywhere, but it's just not on the same level as it is in the States. And I view the States now just completely different. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I have no benefit to that. Not like, yeah, guns are legal and it's really great, but at the same time, you know, you have this like, you have, you know, really high shooting rates, but at the same time, you know, people have guns, so people are safe. Like, for me, there's no benefit at all to civilians carrying guns. There's just not. And unless you have lived outside of the US and lived in a country where they weren't legal, you know, they weren't accessible like they are in the States, and saw like how much safer it is, how unnecessary it is to the right to bear arms, then I'm sorry, but I don't think that you should really talk about how great it is to bear arms, because you don't know the alternative side to that. If you have lived outside of the US and, you know, for some reason you think that still we need to bear arms, and then okay, you know, and I know there's people out there for sure. It's just absolutely maddening. It's maddening from a non-citizen perspective. My husband doesn't understand it at all. Like, what the heck? And for me, I mean, it's like, you're just banging your head against a wall. I don't know. I don't have a reason for you. I don't have an explanation. except for this is just the way that it is there. So those are several things about how I view the US now, and because I don't just, my views of the US didn't change in a bad way. It's not like, oh, I hate the US, I'm never going back. There were some things that really strengthened in me that I was really proud of, you know, the service, the political activity. And then there are other things where I was like, yeah, I don't care for that anymore. So that's all, Ludi. Thank you so much for watching. And everyone's been like really, really sweet about my last video talking about culture shock and missing home. I've had people reach out to me personally. The comments were really, really sweet. And I just want to thank everyone for that, because it was a big deal, and it is a big deal for me to share where I'm at now, especially since I moved to Croatia. I chose Croatia. I am in love with Croatia, and it's not easy to admit that there are moments where I don't exactly love it all the time. I know that there's probably gonna be a lot of people that are like, I told you so, I told you, you wouldn't like Croatia, you would hate it, you're gonna move back, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's only fair that I'm honest with you guys about where I'm at emotionally. And to think that I would love a place 100% of the time is just freaking crazy. So anybody who's journeying through the process with me, thank you so much. And hopefully we see each other again. Vidimo se uskoro. Thank you.